Hello, everybody. It's me, Santa. Welcome back to a new episode of Dear Santa. It's been a little bit of a while since we've posted an episode. You know, we got really busy at Christmas time, and then I wanted to let the elves catch their breath a little bit, and Mrs. Claus and I took a little vacation to somewhere warm, and now I figured what a great time to get back. The elves are chugging away, making tons of toys. The reindeer just came back from a little break for some preseason training. We are excited to go. And let me tell you, I've got a guest for you today. Let me open up the nice book and read a little bit about our guest today. Raegan Medgie. Okay, let me tell you about Raegan. She was born and raised in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, as you all know, one of my favorite cities in the world. And so Christmas has always been a thing for her. You know, growing up in the Christmas city, that's what happens. I actually used to stop by her house on Christmas Eve before I did the rest of my trip because she was so high up on the nice list. I figured she deserved a little bit of a special visit. So I would go, and she always asked if she was going to make the nice list permanently. And I can tell you, Raegan, you've done that. You are on the permanent nice list, which can be changed, so let's not mess that up.
Okay, got it. Understood, noted.
Good. And these
I
days...
didn't know my microphone was on. I didn't know.
That's okay. It's not a strike against you. These days, she's the host of an amazing podcast called Unscripted Turbulence, which I subscribe to and follow. It's a podcast where she talks to people who've taken big risks, who've hit turbulence in their lives and found a way to rise anyway. So, Raegan, we are so excited to have you. Welcome to Dear Santa. You are an expert podcaster. I'm going to look for some tips from you, so please feel free to interrupt and tell me to try something different. But welcome.
Okay.
Happy to have you here today.
Hey, thanks for having me, and I will do my best to coach you. You actually really don't need coaching. We're going to keep it G-rated and clean because I want to stay on that nice list.
Good answer.
If you know what I'm saying.
Good answer. Very good answer. So I was just watching your podcast, and you just had a 1-year anniversary of something big, right?
Oh, yeah.
You were... Oh my gosh, you were just making great waves in New York City. You were a broadcaster. You were on TV all the time. I know the elves used to try to get the channel up in the North Pole to watch you reporting stories. So tell me about the anniversary. Tell us all what's happened.
Yeah, so the anniversary 1 year later, so on April 1st of 2025, I signed off for the last time on TV. I didn't do anything crazy or wild. I did it very classy and elegant.
Absolutely.
But yes, that's my style. I was a TV broadcaster, TV news reporter for 20 years. Also did anchoring, which is when you sit on the desk and you read off a teleprompter. And then back in 2020, right before the pandemic, I went back to school to be a meteorologist, and I got my education there. So at the end game of all of it, after going to my undergrad for journalism at Temple University, go Owls, I did my meteorology education at Penn State University online.
Okay.
I said, I'm done with it. I did what I needed to do. I felt like I needed to kind of end that chapter of my life as a TV news person, and then I transitioned into being a podcaster.
Did anyone, now I've got to ask you, it was April 1st, April Fool's Day. Did anyone think you were playing a joke?
The day I did it, yeah.
Yeah, did they? Okay.
Yeah, all my coworkers were like, "This is a joke, right?"
Oh my
Like
gosh.
this is, and I didn't realize it at the point when I decided to call it quits. Well, I didn't say call it quits. I like to say I walked away.
Right.
Um,
You started
but
the second act of your career.
Yeah, and I sent an email to everybody once I signed off. Nobody knew. You know, I did the regular, like, you know, I think I was on the Upper West Side of New York City.
Okay.
And I did my tag, which is, you know, live on the Upper West Side, Raegan Medgie, Channel 7 Eyewitness News. And that was it, you know. And then I sent the email saying, "Hey, everyone, so today is my last day."
Oh my gosh.
And people got back to me. They're like, "This is a joke, right?" I'm like, no.
Was it exciting? Was it scary? Was it all of the above?
Oh, it was out of body experience. It's like you do something for so long in your life, you study it, you know, you learn the ins and outs of it, and you know, you're kind of promised when you're studying it, like if you do XYZ, 1, 2, 3 will happen. But if anybody has been tuning into the news, you're unless you've been living under a rock, it's been going through major transitions. And I, being in it for so long, I got in it right at the end of the good old days, like
Okay.
when people were getting paid well. I didn't
Okay.
know. I never saw that money, by the way, but you know, so I got in just as it was wrapping up, but nobody knew.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden, the phones start coming out, and then the Facebook, and then the phone has the Facebook and the Instagram and the YouTube, and all of this started changing so rapidly that the news didn't keep up. And I blame the news. I think the news should have gotten ahead of it. It didn't. And unfortunately, or fortunately, people have to make kind of pivots and change the direction of what they thought was going to be their life.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought I was going to retire as a TV news broadcaster. Hey, listen, things could change still, right? But yeah, I just realized it was no longer serving me, and I needed to do something that I felt where I could grow and really thrive and challenge myself. And that's where we are right now.
That's fantastic. So how soon after your final sign off did you say, you know what, this podcast thing, there's something to it, and here's kind of what I want to explore with it, the unscripted turbulence piece. How long after, or did you have that in your mind while you were still working, or?
I love this. So I don't listen to podcasts. We'll start there.
Wow.
I don't.
Okay. Well, with the exception of the Dear Santa podcast that you are now going to subscribe to.
Oh, I already have.
Okay, good answer.
I got to stay on the nice list.
Exactly.
Santa,
good answer.
right? So I never really listened to them. I just, I knew they were out there, but I'm in TV.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on TV. I do the TV thing. So there was, I consume enough stuff in a day, and having to deadlines and stuff, I just unplug. I don't subscribe to anything beyond that. YouTube, I'm like, whatever. I had a channel, but I just thought like, eh.
Okay.
And I had a conversation with a girlfriend of mine in November 2024 when I started getting a little itchy and thinking, is this TV thing really what I'm supposed to do?
Okay.
Things were happening in the business, and I started seeing things, and I started seeing clearer. So that was when the first initial seed got planted. And I think my friend kind of threw water on it. She said, this is kind of how you could maybe do it, whatever. And I just let it go. And then the new year came in 2025, and March 2025 came. And I just, something in my gut was screaming at me. And it was like, something's coming. Something is coming your way, girl. And the podcast started getting louder, the idea of it. And again, I think I subscribed to maybe only one. It was like the Mel Robbins podcast. I mean, and if you're not familiar with Mel Robbins, she basically is a motivator, and talks about all the things. So, inspirational.
Gotcha.
So I ended up seeing things at the station and in the industry in general. And then it got to a point where I got a phone call from my general manager after I had spoken to her saying, hey, listen, I feel like something's coming. And at that point, it was like 5 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
And I was freelance. And I don't want to get too in the weeds about this, but so there's freelance and there's staff.
Okay.
I didn't know what freelance was until I got to New York City. And bigger cities have freelance more. A little city, smaller cities do too, but freelance is basically you get paid a day rate. You're like a contract worker for the day. It's a daily rate.
Yep.
No matter how long you work, depending upon how good your union is, no matter how long you work, you make a certain rate.
Gotcha.
The staff member who's full-time is like your salary. Whatever. So those are the two kind of buckets. So I was freelance.
Okay.
And sometimes if you put enough time in as a freelance worker, you become a staff employee, which had happened to me in other spots here in New York.
Okay.
But I just felt like something was happening. I was doing all the things. My coworkers were like, how are you not staff yet? And I'm like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it just was confusing on my end. Listen, managers have a plan. You're never privy to all the information and the blueprint. So I just knew, I just felt something. So I went in, we discussed just how things are.
Yep.
And I said, I have a funny feeling. Is this happening? She's like, no, you're fine. Well, about 3 days later, I get a call from her. So I want to be upfront and honest. I told you I'd be transparent, but we're going to have to kind of pull back your hours. And And all I thought to myself was, girl, we literally had this conversation. And
Mm-hmm.
like, as a journalist, you're paid to ask the tough questions, right?
Right.
So you're supposed to ask tough questions and dig and push push the envelope, all of this for everything and everybody else but yourself. And you can't get a straight answer. I just find that very ironic.
Gotcha.
I'll let you sit with that, Santa, and all
Gotcha.
the listeners out there,
Oh, my
watchers.
goodness. Oh, my
So
goodness.
yeah. So, I was on the phone, and there was another person on the phone who happened to be the person who schedules your hours.
Okay.
I wasn't born yesterday, and I'm thinking they're waiting for me to freak out.
Right.
Oh,
Right.
no, no,
Right.
no.
Right.
But I must maintain my status of being on the nice list for Santa.
Good
So
call.
one will not lose her cool or grace. And I just listened. I was like, all right, here we go. So we got off the phone, and my husband, we call him Pilot,
Yes.
because he is an airline pilot and he is very shy. So we will not say his name or what airline he works for. But Pilot says to me, what was that all about? I said, well, I guess things are changing. And he looks at me, and he has been with me through this entire journey about what is the news becoming?
Mm-hmm.
Should I stay? Should I go, for years?
Mm-hmm.
And he looked at me, he's like, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but you need to take a good hard look at where you're at. You're going to do what you need to do, but I'm not telling you what to do. But I think
Okay.
you know what you need to do. I was all right.
Okay.
And then a couple days later was when I had my final assignment. No one knew except for like 3 people at the station who were my trusted people, my 2 cameramen and my 1 producer. And I sent the email. It was like, oh, wow.
There you go.
But they all knew. So the one producer, this is kind of like inside baseball here, but the one producer told me that he was at his desk and he knew when I was going to send the email.
Okay.
He's at his desk. And then all of a sudden he's like, it was really funny because I'm watching everybody open the email and read it. And the shock was just like this ripple effect on everybody's faces. And I thought, oh, okay, well, at least people care.
Yep.
So,
Absolutely.
but that was it. I mean, it wasn't anything like, nobody like called and screamed at me. It's like, how could you? It was more like,
right.
oh, but yeah. But I just couldn't do it anymore. When I realized I needed to kind of say, okay, I'm done. I had to go. So I left, and then, it took a couple of months to kind of figure out like, what am I going to do? Where am I going to go? It's never linear. Life is not linear, as we all know, Santa.
Yep.
And I realized, let's do this podcast thing. Cause you know what? At least I'm staying in my lane.
Yep.
I love storytelling, right? People's stories. So podcasting is such a big thing. And I have the podcast not only on all audio platforms like Apple and Spotify, it's also on YouTube.
Perfect.
On the video, because I have been on video for so long. So I thought, well, that just seems like a natural progression. So I got headshots and I started thinking about the name, and I came up with the name Unscripted because I was always unscripted when I was doing my live shots. My producers, well, they weren't always thrilled about that,
Sure.
but whatever. And then, yeah. So look at me now. So then there's Turbulence for Pilot, because flying planes, and turbulence is always kind of jarring, but you get through it.
Yep.
So it kind of combined. And then, I found a podcast studio. So this is my podcast nook that I'm in that you see.
Yep.
It's in my apartment in New York City. And so I'll do this when I do remotes, which this is considered a remote because you're in the North Pole. I'm not. Tickets were very expensive. So sorry.
It's hard to get here. It's hard to get here.
there.
Yep.
And then I have a studio that's in Lower Manhattan, in the Garment District for people who really know Manhattan, but it's in Manhattan. And I found that studio and I started recording. And then I launched the podcast on August 1st, 2025.
Awesome.
So
awesome.
Yeah. And it's been every Wednesday, a drop every Wednesday with
That's
new
incredible.
people's stories.
That's so incredible.
Mm.
It's fantastic. And before I forget, say hi to Pilot for me.
Oh, I will.
I've seen him some nights when I'm out flying. And, I remember bringing him his first toy plane when he was little. And I'm so happy that you and Pilot found each other. He's a wonderful young boy from what I remember.
Yes.
And
yes.
please give my best. And I love to visit your place in New York. It's hard. New York's a hard place to get around as Santa because of all the tall buildings. But
I don't know how you do it.
I've got a good staff. But anyway. Well, I'll tell you what. I love your story, and I encourage anyone that wants to make sure that they follow you on Unscripted Turbulence.
Thank you.
But let's get back to this podcast now and talk
Of
about the
course.
important Christmas things we need to talk about. Now,
Yes.
we started this podcast last year. Originally, we weren't going to do video because I've got a face for audio. And then,
Oh.
well, that's what Mrs. Claus says when she wants to tease me. But anyway, but what we like to do is after we hear a little bit from our guests, we like to talk about your Christmas and your Christmas memories. Do you have a first Christmas memory, Raegan, that sticks in your mind, whether it was when you were younger, whether it was your first kind of Christmas on your own as an adult? Is there any that really stick out to you that are memorable?
Yeah, when you'd come and visit me, actually. But
Okay.
here's the thing I never understood. And,
Yes.
you'd come in a black limousine.
Well, because because it was out of the ordinary trip. Okay, I wanted to be a little bit incognito, and
Uh-huh.
black limousines, it's incognito. It's not a sleigh with 9 reindeer pulling on it.
That's true. You didn't want to give it up
Exactly.
to people in the neighborhood because not
Exactly.
everybody got a
So,
visit from you. I
No,
know.
and everybody may not have thought it was the real Santa because he's riding in a limo. So there was a little bit of trickery there.
Oh, I
on why
like
we tried
that.
to do that, not to hurt anyone else, but just to kind of keep it a little more on the down low, which thinking back, a black limo is not really that on the down low, but it's better than flying in with the reindeer and the sleigh. So that's why
Yeah.
we kind of did it back then, is to try to slip in and out as quickly as we could before we.
Okay.
Yeah, so we would land the sleigh nearby, the limo would pick us up. Well, pick me up. The reindeer couldn't fit in the limo. And then we'd take a quick ride over to your house for Christmas Eve and then get back to the sleigh and start going.
It was
So-
always so wonderful because my brother and I would wait and wait. We knew Santa was going to pay a quick little visit, and I always brought like a nice little toy,
Yep.
just like as the appetizer to the main event. And I'll never forget. We'd wait at the window and wait, and we'd wait, and we lived on a corner.
Yep.
The house that I was raised in, it was 1210 Highland Avenue.
I remember.
Yes, yes. And it's it actually, the original structure is no longer there. Somebody bought it and then tore it down. It's fine. And then rebuilt it, but it's fine. But it was on a corner of Eaton Avenue and Highland Avenue. And we would always like wait and wait. We'd see cars, come around the corner like, oh, is that him? No, it's not. Oh, is that him? No, it's not. And then we'd see him pull from Eaton Avenue, make that right and go right in front of our house and park right in front, not in the driveway, right in front. And we'd be like so excited. And he would come in and he'd ask what we wanted for Christmas and give us a little toy, tell us that we were good. Not all year, but most of the year.
Yeah, and it's the same. You're still good most of the year, and we appreciate that because no one's perfect except Mrs.
No.
Claus.
Good save there.
Well,
Good save.
but no, I remember those days very fondly, and I also remember you guys left some amazing cookies out.
Oh,
Cookies and milk. What's your favorite? Do you have a favorite Christmas cookie, Raegan?
so I actually like kiffles. So
It's a very Bethlehem, very Pennsylvania thing, a kiffle.
yeah, so
Absolutely.
I'm Slovak Ukrainian.
Yep.
By like I'm American, but my family 2 generations ago came from Slovakia and Ukraine, and my mom would make great kiffles. And I love the kiffles. There was lekvar in them, which was prune,
Yep.
and then walnut, and also the apricot are my favorite. So
Yeah, I was a big fan of the apricot that you left out.
Love it.
I
So-
kind of avoided the prune. Don't tell your mom.
Oh.
But the
Yeah.
apricot was just the right amount of sweetness to it too.
yeah. Of course, like chocolate chip cookies. My brother liked the chocolate chip cookies,
Sure.
and actually, Pilot loves chocolate chip cookies.
Okay.
I could take them or leave them. They're okay, but yeah, we would have the kiffles were my favorite.
That's awesome. That's so awesome. Well, you'll have to get to Bethlehem and get mom to make some more kiffles sometime soon.
I know. I was going to make them this year. I did try to make them one year. They are labor intensive.
They are, but I think they're worth the effort. And plus, it's a
Oh.
nice little family tradition to carry on.
It is. It is. We do a lot of like Slovakian cooking. We do like there's a whole spread that you do for Christmas Eve with dough and cheese and poppy seed and honey and cabbage, and it's just a mushroom soup. I mean, there's names for all of this. I don't want to bore people, but
No,
it's
that's great though.
the best. The best.
Well, and that's fantastic. And do you still do some of those things Christmas Eve with family? Do you still have some of those traditions in place?
We do. So
Okay.
like my mom will make, it's called babalki. It's like, they look like gnocchi,
Yep.
but they're not made out of potato. It's out of dough. And then she'll put all different kinds of cheese on it,
Oh,
American cheese and milk, and it'll be a creamy one. Then there'll be the honey and poppy seed one. Then there's also this soup, and I don't know what the Slovakian name of it is, but it's this really good mushroom sauerkraut soup.
ooh, okay.
It is so good. And then we used to have, when my grandmother was alive, we would have the wafers with the honey.
Yep.
So you'd go and get the wafers blessed at the church. There's also a thing called pagach, which is like dough and cabbage. It's like
A lot of dough.
casserole. A lot of dough.
Which there's nothing wrong with a good dough.
Yeah, it's very filling and nice.
That's fantastic.
We never really like made pierogies from scratch, but we would have kielbasi,
Very good.
smoked kielbasi. I don't eat the kielbasi anymore, but
but it's good. It's good. You can't
So
you can't beat
good.
a good kielbasa. So you know, absolutely,
so good. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, that's fantastic. Tell me, so Pilot travels, obviously.
Yeah.
Let's talk decorating. Are you a last minute decorator? Do
No.
you start right after Thanksgiving, November 1? Tell me
No.
about your decoration strategy.
Yeah, so I believe having every season and every holiday enough time to breathe.
Okay, good.
I don't like overlapping and like rushing. I don't subscribe to that, because then if you're doing too much of it, then there's nothing to look forward to. I just feel like it dilutes it. So when Thanksgiving's over, I would say probably the first or second week of December, Pilot and I will start. Well, it's really me starting to decorate, let's be honest. But we have an apartment, right? So it's not a whole house. But when I was little, my mom would decorate everything with the bows and the ribbons on the fence, with the garland and the wreaths and everything. So I have a limited amount of space. But I will tell you, Pilot, he just waits for it every year, because I have several boxes. The only time I decorate is for Christmas. And I have several boxes in a very tightly packed, almost like a game of Tetris, in which I'm very, very proud of myself, a closet.
Nice.
So I have a lot of ornaments on the tree. We get a real tree.
Nice.
He tried doing the fake tree. I go, oh, no, my friend. It's always Pilot versus needles.
Okay.
And I don't mind that at all. It's just something about the real tree. So in New York City, they have stands out in the corner.
Right.
They cost so much money, Santa, as you are aware.
Right.
It's so, I think one year it was like close to $300 for a Christmas tree.
Oh my gosh.
And it goes by height. So we get like a 6-foot tree and a very big one.
You need to drive to Pennsylvania and cut one down and bring it back.
I know.
It'll cost
I know.
less,
So
even with gas. Oh my goodness.
and tolls. I wanted to do that, but we didn't really have time this year. So we go to the Home Depot. They actually have decent trees. I know it sounds like wah wah, but you got to do what you got to do when you're living in a city. Like
Sure.
it's hard. So
Harry Met Sally just came to mind when they're carrying the tree down the street. That just popped into my mind.
That's exactly what it's like. So
Okay.
that's like, that version of like, getting the Christmas tree in the city, right? So,
Yeah.
but once it comes into the apartment, it's like we live in a big house, because I decorate everything. The tree ornaments, decorating the tree is my life's work.
Nice.
It is what I was put on this earth for, because it is a timeline and a collaboration of my life, Pilot's life, and there are different ornaments that mean different things. I have old Czechoslovakian hand-blown glass ornaments, those really fragile, delicate ornaments.
That's fantastic.
And I have to wrap them so gently and carefully. I have, basically the timeline of when I was little, when I went to St. Stephen's Evangelical Lutheran Church for nursery school. I have those ornaments still. I keep everything. So every year
so great.
I might get another ornament and just adds to the tree, and it gets bigger and bigger. And then Santa, I add, oh yes, my friend, the tinsel. I add the real tinsel. I have no cats. They're going to eat the tinsel and throw it up into a fur ball of tinsel.
Love it.
I really, and then of course, I go all the way out. And then of course, when a pilot goes to the airport, there may or may not be a piece of tinsel stuck to his flight bag, but that's fine. He's bringing the joy of Christmas with him.
I love
as he sees you in the skies.
I love the old school tinsel. Not enough people do the old school tinsel anymore.
No, and everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, like how could oh, I hated it. It gets everywhere." But
That's
Is
what's
there
great about
tinsel?
it.
But yes, is there tinsel that's stuck in the broom in July? Sure. In the vacuum?
Yep.
Absolutely. Do I care? No.
The spirit of Christmas all year is what I say
Exactly.
with tinsel. Oh, Raegan, that just made me so happy to hear about the tinsel. And I
Oh,
remember
yeah.
seeing how lovely your tree was, and I
Oh,
thought there was a lot of history to it. And that's what I love the most is when people kind of can look at it and they get their memories from growing up and from
hmm
last year and from 5 years ago and from
yeah.
when you and Pilot went on a trip here or did something
Yes,
like
that's what
that.
we do. We
So
collect things along
good.
the way. It's really cool.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic. I love that. I love that. Oh my gosh, this is so fun. Let me throw one more question at. Well, I've got two more, but one more question right now. Favorite Christmas movie? Do you have one? There's so
Okay.
many genres of them and types of them. Do you have a favorite?
Okay. So when I decorate the tree,
Mm-hmm.
I have favorites, but for certain things.
Okay.
If this makes okay. So when I decorate the tree, I like to watch It's a Wonderful Life.
Perfect. Yep. Black and
Okay.
white or color?
Black and white.
Nice.
Black
Okay.
and white.
Well done.
Um, growing up, I always watched Irving Berlin's White Christmas,
Mm-hmm.
my mom's favorite movie with Bing Crosby,
Yep.
Danny Kaye.
Love the movie.
Then
Rosemary
I
Clooney. Oh my gosh, that was great.
I yeah. I love National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Okay. So I don't know if you know or if you saw, we actually had Ruby Sue on the podcast.
Yes. Yes, and she lives in the
She
Lehigh
lives in the
Valley, in
Lehigh Valley,
Coopersburg,
near where you
right?
grew up. Yep. Yep. She was fantastic.
I cannot be of all people,
Yep.
right?
Ruby Sue. I think I think they did something. There's a place in Bethlehem called Arts Quest, and
Oh.
they showed Christmas Vacation, and she went and did a little meet and greet down there. She told us she's working to get back into some acting. She took some time off.
Oh
Um,
my
yeah,
gosh.
it's
She was
fantastic
great in
though.
that. It's so funny that with the scene in the kitchen that was
Yeah.
we won't go there.
No,
But
but people that know the movie know.
yeah.
If you know, you know.
Yeah, you do.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, that's oh my gosh, that is so fan. Now, does Pilot usually have to fly at Christmas, or can he work his own schedule and be home Christmas Eve and
It's
Christmas?
funny. Like he used to, like I used to work Christmas,
Yeah.
as you know. I mean,
Yep.
I'd be burning the midnight oil because the news never sleeps. Doesn't matter
It
when.
doesn't. It's like an elf.
There's
Never
always.
sleeps.
Uh, so early on, yes, he would work Christmas, but now he's a little bit more senior and he can kind of bid days off and kind of move his schedule around. And I mean, there are days where if he like there have been years when I had to work
Yep.
Christmas or Christmas Eve, he would work because I was working. But now that he is a little bit more senior in the company, he's not
Gotcha.
always
Yep.
having to do it. The younger
Good.
guys do.
Good.
So
Good. Good. Well, and I appreciate that because I wouldn't want a chance flying by him too quickly on Christmas Eve. So
yeah, I asked him once if he ever saw anything in the sky. Now I was thinking, oh, UFOs, whatever. And then I thought, have you seen and he looked at me and he gave me this look
mm-hmm.
and he smiled a little bit and
Yep.
he's like, off the record,
Mm-hmm.
no comment. I was like,
It's a little bit of a blur because sometimes we go a little quicker than the Jets.
yeah,
But
but
yeah,
he's seen something, but he will not talk about it.
a good man. That's why he stays on the nice list.
Yeah, yes, he does.
So, all right, one last question, Raegan, and then we're going to let you go.
Oh,
Christmas wish. I know it's early, but have
Mhm.
you started giving any thought to this year's Christmas wish yet? And if you
am I
haven't,
allowed?
that's okay. You can write a letter.
Am I allowed to even say it? Because aren't wishes if you say it, they don't come true?
Give me a general one, and then you can write Santa a letter like you used to, and
Ooh,
so
a
not
Christmas
necessarily a
wish.
present, not necessarily anything you're hoping for this year in general. How about that? Let's make it broader. It doesn't have to be a Christmas wish, but what are you hopeful for right now? Not just for you, for anyone, for your family, for your friends.
Oh, geez.
I know.
I just My Christmas wish. You really got me. My mind's going like in thousands of different directions, but something about my podcast is pinging. And I think if there was a wish for my podcast, is that it would show me what truly matters in life.
Nice. I like that. That's great. That is perfect. I think that's a perfect way to end it. And Raegan, it's been so much fun talking with you, and
Thank
I've
you.
absolutely loved it. I love our chats, and look forward to visiting you and Pilot again. And for those again, make sure you're listening to and subscribing to Unscripted Turbulence.
Thank you,
Raegan Medgie,
Santa. You're so sweet.
because
Thank you.
it's a difference maker in people's lives, and she is doing great work, and we're very excited for you, Raegan. And everybody, thank you again for tuning in. We're going to try to make these a little more regular now that we're in toy building season. I get little breaks every now and then to jump on the podcast. Raegan, you can send me your notes after we publish this of how I can improve a little bit.
Will do.
And since you are a meteorologist, we may have to have you up and check out some of our weather forecasters that we have at the North Pole. We may have to get you up. You know, we used to have Al Roker come up a little bit, but you know, we're looking to transition to somebody a little bit younger. No offense, Al.
None taken to him.
No offense, Al.
He's a busy man.
He's a busy man. So we'll talk about getting you up to work with our team up at the North Pole. All right.
I would love that.
All right.
Absolutely, I'm in.
Raegan, you have a wonderful day. Merry Christmas early,
Merry
and
Christmas.
thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Santa, and thank you everybody for
Absolutely.
tuning in.
Everybody, we'll see you soon. Merry Christmas.